What's going on, my people? Welcome back to the Lift Capital YouTube channel, where life is for the taking. It is the host himself, TedTalkMoney, coming back at you to tell you something. This time, my people, we are stepping into the world of XDC. Now, as you guys already know, XDC and trade finance, they go together. It's kind of one of our favorite networks over here on this side. I mean, really discovering the army of XRP, XLM, and XDC. Really, you get to find out how important these utility cryptos are going to be for the future. So we're going to dive into this thing. I have a few X posts that we're going to be diving into the world, of course, of XDC. And then we're going to be getting into this main piece about trade finance and, of course, blockchain. But with that being said, as you guys can see here, I want you all to see some of this price action. Over the past month, you guys can see if you have been holding XDC, we're actually down about 22% with volume of around 28% actually being down less. So you can see that we were actually able to hit about 5 cents at the end of the year last year, but you guys can see we're floating around 3.8, which is not bad. If you guys still don't know where you can grab some of this, you can get some BitGate, KuCoin, Mexi, BingX, and Kraken. Of course, the big thing in the community is everybody wants XDC listed on more major platforms so you can have way more exposure to the price action. Now, XDC actually has some network updates that have actually been going on, which is good. The Cancun upgrade was actually scheduled to be activated at block 98,800,202, approximately 3 days from now. So if your node is still running at a version lower than V268, you need to upgrade immediately. Now, this was put out yesterday, so you guys still have a few days to get in tune with this. But if you do own a node, this is a hard fork, okay? There's a hard fork coming for the XDC network, the Cancun hard fork. So nodes that are not upgraded won't sync and they won't produce blocks after activation. So you guys are going to have to do your upgrade and upgrade as soon as possible. I'll try to leave a link in the description for you guys and head over to X, their XDC network, their X over there. Now, next up, I want to show you all this one. This is major news here. All right, a strategic leap forward for global trade. Just so you can have a basic and an understanding. If you don't know anything about XDC, XDC is the more so blockchain network that makes it possible, quite beneficial to the world. So you all can see here a MOU signing ceremony did go into place. Strategic partnership agreements between the XDC Australia and XDC Lab India. They're going to actually have support from the XDC Innovation Lab. So this is good, guys. More and more digitization and optimization actually happening in that India-Australia trade corridor. I mean, honestly, just thinking about how this is going to be for the future, I know it doesn't seem like something that's going to really hit your bowl of Cheerios in the morning, but understanding that trade finance truly is a backbone of each and every country. And now we're seeing that there's actual blockchain solutions for supply chain traceability, for digital trade documentation. It all aligns with a global trade finance ecosystem, and XDC is smack dab in the middle of that. So we're going to be seeing more and more of XDC's infrastructure, low cost, high speed, addressing all of these utility real world pain points, which is highly paper based. Again, another reason why we love XDC is because in trade finance, global trade, primarily a lot of it is paper based. So we're going to be able to move towards digital trade finance. That's digital bills of lading. And all of this is really going to be causing innovation and as well cheaper funds. Now it's going to be a lot cheaper for folks as they do their operations. But here's our main piece for today. It was coming out from the XDC Foundation. They had put this out a little bit ago. I'm not sure if you guys have checked it out, but it's quite a good piece. I want you all to see here, basically in the title here, trade finance is the biggest opportunity in blockchain. And this is truly a fact. You see, in trade finance, there is such thing as a trade finance gap. And you can see here, trade finance, the capital and credit that enables goods and services to move across borders forms the backbone of the global economy. You guys can see that here. And who wrote this was Billy Sable. He's the executive director of the XDC Foundation. And seriously, the backbone of any economy has really been coined over here on the Lift Capital channel. But you guys can see it right here, $2.5 trillion global trade finance gap. This is affecting businesses. You have mostly small and medium enterprises that can't have any of the credit that they need to grow. So when you have all these small exporters, they can't have any credit. They're going to be losing contracts. And now you have fewer jobs, which is actually going to cause reduction in economic inclusion. So we need to solve that gap with economic growth. And that's really where blockchain comes in. Trade finance and blockchain are a perfect match. Each and every one of these shipments of goods are going to be involving 10 or more parties already. So you have banks, insurers, shippers, all of these customs agents, all of it. Because within all of trade finance, folks, you have to realize you have different minds, you have different country, you have, different perspectives of who's actually getting in play. So again, you have 10 or more parties that can get involved, and you could have a lot of inefficiencies and as well fraud. So with blockchain providing solutions, you can replace all of that paper-based process, all that manual stuff, so you can have tamper-proof workflows. Trade documents, invoices, purchase orders, bills of lading, all of them recorded on chain. And then now parties across the whole supply chain can verify if any of those documents are actually authentic without them having to rely on any kind of middleman. So you have more and more tokenization that could be built on this foundation. You can convert some of those trade assets and actually turn some digital assets. They can now settle instantly. They can now be easily transferred as we come into more and more of a alignment with deeper liquidity, greater access to capital. You see what I'm saying? Well, this is where we're moving into with this world. And that's the reason why you yourself want to continue to accumulate as many utility cryptos as you can as we continue to get closer and closer to our destination. But I just want you all to understand that, this is a big thing for us all, because trade finance is affecting everyone. And now we're seeing, even with the XDC Foundation, tokenization is coming abroad. You have tokenization markets booming. You guys can see here, it's expanded from under 1 billion to nearly 30 billion today. Okay. And they see it getting to 16 trillion by 2030. All right. So trade finance remains just a mere fraction of that total, but still the question is no longer whether blockchain will transform trade finance. It's how fast we can get the opportunity to bring this sector fully into the digital economy. Huge. All right, folks, very, very huge. Stable coins, utility cryptos are going to be vital for the future. If you have no place to really store your XDC, if you've been keeping them still on the exchanges, just been keeping it online, on your phone and whatnot, what I would suggest for you guys to do is to use the link in our description for a decent biometric wallet. This biometric wallet allows you guys to actually store all of your crypto safely and utilize your fingerprint as the key. Okay. Really, again, this is a big thing you guys can utilize. Use our link. You guys can save yourself some money. But this was actually one of the first hardware wallets that was used to store XDC. If you're not familiar with what this Game Boy looking thing here is, this is the next step for your security. You might have been buying crypto online, buying it on the exchanges or keeping it on this app, that app, or whatnot. What this is keeping all of your crypto in the vault. You can think of this right here as your hot wallet. This right here is your cold wallet. You're taking all of that crypto in a sense and putting it offline. And this already has your private keys stored offline. So go ahead and do your research, come on back and save yourself some money. But with that being said, my people, I want you all to continue to accumulate, share this thing out with somebody who needs some XDC in their life. And as well, guys, continue to accumulate, pay some more attention to what's happening with trade finance. I know it can be boring, but understand and know, folks, this is the ultimate utility crypto that's built for trade finance. And again, it's ISO compliant. There's no other network out there, in my personal, honest opinion, that I'm seeing is going to actually compete with XDC. There isn't one. But with that being said, my people, I appreciate you for making it to this part of the video. Be sure that you like, share, and of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. But with that being said, I'll holler at you later. Peace.